Stick around and get your small business unstuck. More of Business Insanity Talk Radio with Barry Moltz. Now on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back in business. You know, we negotiate, believe it or not, every single day. And so many small business owners are really bad at it, so we try to avoid it. And one of the reasons that we're so bad at it is because we never take time to prepare for these kind of interactions. Here to help is Jenny Q-Ta. She's the founder and CEO of Squeaky, the first of its kind social networking site. Launched this year, the site gives individuals, businesses, celebrities, politicians, and nonprofit organizations the ability to monetize their profiles in an unprecedented way. Jenny's also the author of Wall Street Cinderella, which will be launched this year, detailing her escape from Vietnam during the war and her path to success from welfare to Wall Street. That's got a nice ring to it, Jenny. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
So first, tell us about Squeaky before we get into this whole idea of how do you become a better negotiator.
Squeaky, as you clearly described earlier, we're the first of its kind social networking. Basically, social networking. More people are more familiar with that. You've heard of Facebook, a little LinkedIn, a little Twitter, basically social media. But the problem with social networks is basically the users, like Facebook, 1.5 billion users. Who makes a penny from using that platform? So, all those people. So social networking basically is paying back the users for their time. Social network, and basically we're the first social network that embedded a marketplace, a shop, which is free. So anybody can basically open a free profile similar to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Everything is free, but you can immediately add stuff to your shop. You can sell. You can add old or new items. And, the site is really great. And we have over a dozen features, videos, photos. We even have crowdfunding. So the site is quite neat, and the buzz is getting around right now. So we're excited.
Well, let's talk about negotiating. So many people are really bad at it, or they avoid it. So what's the first thing you should do if you're going to a negotiation? How do you prepare? How do you prepare your mindset?
Well, basically, negotiating is, of course, is striking the best possible deal between the parties without shortchanging anyone involved. That's always the best scenario. The number one, obviously, is like everything else we do in life, is you got to plan ahead. You have to make plans, and you make a list of goals and items that should be discussed, and then basically you try to strike at it with the best possible results. But then again, make sure that you have a plan A or a plan B, because sometimes plans don't go in accordingly as how you had planned. So you don't want just to plan one single plan, like a plan A. What happens if that plan A doesn't work? Then you're going to be stunned because you don't have a plan B. I would recommend you have to have at least 2, if not 3. Plan A is the best one. Then if that doesn't work, jump right into plan B. And then if not, go to plan C. That's basically my number one tip for everybody.
Or D, E, or F. I was in a negotiation this week, and I really find that people's egos really get in the way. And one thing that you say is your ego is not your amigo. How do you check your ego at the door to get the best result?
Well, it's funny because no one knows yourself except yourself. And sometimes that's actually a double-edged sword. The problem really is everybody has an ego. Men in the business world, the same as women. Women are getting a lot more aggressive than they were many years ago. A lot of women nowadays, very, very successful. They probably sat at the negotiation table with a lot of men. So their attitude, persona has been a lot more aggressive. And again, you need to learn, you need to know yourself, because no one knows yourself than you. So put your ego aside. When you sit at a negotiation table, look at people in the eye, hear the tone, and basically you can be stern, or when you hear certain signals, eye signals, gesture, posture, you need to basically bend yourself accordingly. You can't stick with when you walk into the door, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick to it until I get it. That isn't going to work. So that's the ego is not your amigo scenario.
You know, I find that body language, Jenny, is also really important. I remember years ago I was in a negotiation, and for one of the sides of the that was negotiating, one of the parties, to show his displeasure, he decided to pull down his pants, right? And that certainly sent a disparaging message to the other side. Besides obvious things like that, what should I look for in body language? And how can I control mine? How can I notice the other person's?
Well, certainly anything positive, when we're talking about body language, positive body language helps a lot. Again, your eyes, expressions would be your best advantage. When you're sitting in front of others, you make sure you sit upright. Your gesture, you hold your head up straight. You don't, curve to the side. But again, that's more traditional. I basically do a lot of negotiation sometimes nowadays over the phone. Social media, right now we're in the digital age. So sometimes negotiation may not be face-to-face with someone. So basically body language would not be there. But then you need to learn picking up people's tone and how you got to listen to their the tone of their voice. So that too is a body language, because you don't necessarily negotiate with someone sitting right across from you. So again, body language is extremely important, and anything is positive is certainly it's going to lead to a very successful negotiation.
Jenny, one of the last things I had for you was that how do you get over your fear that's involved in negotiation? Many times you're actually afraid of the outcome, or you don't want to face the person across the table or someone on the other end of the phone. How do you psych yourself out for that, or do you have someone else do the negotiation for you?
Well, that's an excellent question. The thing about fear is that many people I know, successful entrepreneurs, I believe billionaires like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, even Mark Zuckerberg, they all have failed before, if not once, twice, maybe a dozen times before they knew what success was. So back to your question is that it's nothing wrong about being fearful or have fear that you're going to walk into a negotiation table and you're going to lose. That's actually normal. But don't let that fear control what you do in life. I mean, for every failure, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 10, if you keep on standing up and stab at it, you're going to have a successful result. Imagine if you are so fearful that you don't give it a shot, there's no first, second, third, or fourth shot. You will never know that comes that 7th shot that you're going to be successful. You will never learn that. So that's how I advise people to get over your fear. Fear is just take a couple of stab at being a loser or a failure, and then you get the taste of it, and then when the positive results come, that's when you're going to taste the best of the world. And
if you don't get the result that you want, or there's no result for negotiation, there's always time in the future to really work it out. Jenny, I think this is great information. Where can people get in touch with you at Squeaky? They can also always send us an email. It's simple. It's info, INFO, at Squeaky,
SQEEQEE .us. Our website is squeaky.com, but all of our emails are squeaky.us. So that's info@squeaky.us.
Jenny, thanks for being on the show. Now, if you have fear of being unstuck and in the exact same place, contact me at barrymoltz.com/unstuck. We'll be right back.